What's up everyone, it's Smitty from Diesel Crew. Today I'm shooting a guest blog post for Joe Defranco at defrancostraining.com. Today I'm going to show you a variation to the plank that I think is very important for athletes. Now we all know what a plank is. Basically what it is the athlete or lifter lays on the ground, braced up on their elbows, and it demonstrates at the most basic level torso rigidity. Basically what that means is our ability to contract our torso, posterior chain, antagonistically, create a balance, and remain unwavering. Now that's a typical plank, and planks can be modified by raising up one foot or the other, or one hand or the other. Okay? Now, why is torso rigidity important? It allows us to transfer power and keep our spine healthy and safe. Now, at a higher level, when we're trying to create power, that torso rigidity is important because, as we know, forces created on the ground when we move, transferred across each kinetic segment, is accumulated. And what that means is that energy is amplified dependent upon each kinetic segment's ability to proficiently transfer that force. So one kinetic segment is our lower lumbar transferring to our thoracic spine, which encompasses our torso, and our torso is collectively referred to as our core. So if we are able to create tension, isometric contraction, co-contraction, anterior and posterior of our torso, we're able to transfer that force and create power and express it through the endpoint of the kinetic chain, which is basically our hands, or when we hit somebody, transferring that force. Now, if any one of the segments breaks down, it's not proficient in transferring that force, then that energy is dissipated. We lose power. We lose that pop when we hit somebody. We lose the distance on the ball when we hit it with a baseball bat. Okay? So that's why it's important to proficiently learn how to create rigidity of the torso. Again, transferring power and also keep the spine safe. So as we know, as a strength coach or a fitness professional, we know that there's a progression and a regression to all exercises. Now the progression of a typical plank is what I'm going to show you, what we use here for our athletes after they demonstrate a proficiency of the plank, static plank, also of movements of the extremities. They can raise one hand, remain unwavering, raise the other hand, remain unwavering, or any foot independently. Then we can progress to a plank 2.0. Now, I want to talk to you about the core. The core is so important, and people mistakenly just generalize the core as just the abdominals. But the core, like I previously said, is all the muscles that make up what you can see, and all the muscles that you can't see. Okay, the posterior chain, including the back, the erectors and the lats. So the lats are so important. When you do a plank, you got to think about it. What is on tension? The abdominals, of course, we're bracing, and the glutes and hamstrings. Okay, they're on tension, the erectors as well, maybe, to remain unwavering. We're creating rigidity, we're creating stiffness of the spine, okay, to remain unwavering. But think about it. Do planks really engage the lats? Not necessarily. If you walk around anywhere and someone's doing a plank, you have to really do what Stuart McGill might say is muscle raking. Really grab a hold of the lats to really engage those lats and have people feel what it's like to engage those lats in a plank. Because typically they just rest on their elbows, and their shoulders are kind of loose and their back's kind of loose. So real core strength, demonstration of core strength, is not only being able to tense the abdominals, to brace, if you will, create an inter-abdominal pressure and an isometric contraction, but it's also the ability to antagonistically engage the back, okay, and the lats, which planks typically don't do unless the person is proficient or you're doing some type of muscle raking and cueing them every few seconds to make sure that that back is tight. So I'm going to show you what I call plank 2.0, where we're not only engaging the abdominals and bracing into a plank position, but we're also engaged in the back, dynamically engaged in the back, because we're really going to be forcibly trying to break that tension, break that stiffness. And that's the key. If I can actively fight against it, then it'll help me be more proficient at demonstrating it. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a glute ham raise bench, okay, and a jump stretch band. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up in a back extension at the top end, moving out with a back extension, and I'm going to grab that band and I'm just going to walk my hands down the band and prevent hip flexion. Okay, if I prevent hip flexion, I'm strengthening hip extension, but I'm also, when I'm walking that down, I'm engaging my biceps, engaging my shoulders, engaging my lats, something that plank doesn't typically do. Okay, so we're going to go planks 2.0. Okay, so you see, I made about 3 trips down the band. What you can also do, you can measure how many trips I can take down the band and back up, or how long I can pull up the band to the utmost tension and just hold it there, 10, 20, 30 seconds. And as you can see, my back and my biceps were really working, and I was really demonstrating planks at the next level, a progression to the typical plank. I'm out of breath. That was really tough. Joe, thanks for letting me post on your blog. You're one of my mentors. I really appreciate it. Good friend of mine. And I hope to see you at Diesel.